Hey basketball fans, welcome back to Dime Time Hoops. Today, we've got 3 incredible journeys that will leave you inspired both on and off the court. We're talking game-changing endorsements, dramatic comebacks, and the unstoppable rise of women's basketball. Let's dive right in. What if 3 under-the-radar athletes disrupted the entire WNBA with a blend of unstoppable skill, fearless ambition, and shocking off-court ventures? For years, fans were told they'd never make it. Critics scoffed at their so-called limited potential, and even a few die-hard supporters wondered if their hype was short-lived. Yet here they are, Kate Martin, Lexi Hull, and Aaliyah Boston, proving everyone wrong and reshaping the league in ways no one saw coming. How did they transform from wide-eyed hopefuls to the new faces of women's basketball? And what surprising obstacles did they conquer along the way? Keep watching, because by the time you reach the end of this story, you'll see why these 3 rising superstars aren't just playing the game. They're rewriting every rule in the book. From overlooked high school gyms to the heart of the WNBA's expanding stage, each of these athletes began with a dream most considered unattainable. Kate Martin was the small-town athlete who never planned on going pro. She once joked she'd become a regular Joe Schmo after college, content with a 9-to-5. Family, academics, and a love for the game kept her going. Nothing more, nothing less. Then there was Lexi Hull, a quiet powerhouse who racked up high school championships in Washington State, dazzling crowds and coaches alike, even though few outside her hometown noticed. At first glance, she looked like any other teenage athlete with potential. But behind that polite smile and calm demeanor was a shooting stroke destined to break records. Experts, however, predicted she'd peak early, calling her a solid bench piece at best. And how could anyone miss Aaliyah Boston? Even in high school, she was a standout, dominant on both ends of the court, boasting an uncanny mix of size and agility. But whispers surfaced that her success wouldn't translate to the pro level. Some critics insisted the WNBA was a different beast altogether, and that Boston might just be another collegiate phenomenon who fizzles out when facing bigger, savvier, faster opponents. If only they had known how wrong they would be. Each of these women carried the weight of skepticism and modest expectations on their shoulders. None of them arrived on a golden chariot with a guaranteed spot in the professional spotlight. Yet that's precisely what makes their stories so compelling and their rise so astonishing. What changed? How did they shift from ordinary beginnings to extraordinary achievements? As you'll soon see, each had her own pivotal moment when doubt turned to daring ambition. Behind the highlight reels and championship banners, their paths were paved with obstacles. Kate Martin, for instance, began her professional career with the Las Vegas Aces, but she saw little to no court time. Fans occasionally spotted her at the end of the bench during nationally televised games, fueling rumors that she might not last in the league. Some said her game was too one-dimensional, others pointed to her late-blooming skill set, arguing she'd forever be overshadowed by more hyped players. Lexi Hull's early experiences weren't much different. After a standout run at Stanford, she entered the WNBA full of hope, only to find herself glued to the bench. The confidence she'd built in college seemed to evaporate under the harsh spotlight of pro competition. In hushed whispers, coaches wondered if she lacked the physicality needed to defend the league's top scorers. Fans speculated that her golden shooting touch had gone cold, that maybe her college success was a fluke. Aaliyah Boston faced a torrent of criticism for entirely different reasons. Everyone knew she was talented, maybe even generational. But some insiders insisted her footwork was too slow, her conditioning subpar, and her style not refined enough to bang with the best in the WNBA paint. Didn't help that a few journalists hinted at friction with certain teammates, claims Boston never openly discussed, but which left fans and critics gossiping about possible locker room tension. All 3 players watched their initial professional seasons unfold not like a fairy tale, but like a slow grind through adversity. Injuries popped up at the worst times. Coaching changes prompted uncertainty. Meanwhile, social media buzzed with speculation, fueling narratives that overshadowed their potential. Yet, far from derailing their dreams, these struggles lit a fire in each athlete. If the critics wanted a reason to doubt, these women would give them a reason to regret it. Kate Martin's epiphany came after a humiliating string of DNPS did not play with the Aces. Determined to prove her worth, she put in hours with the team's development coaches, retooling her jump shot and sharpening her defensive instincts. Her chance finally arrived when the Aces' star guard was sidelined by an ankle injury. Martin got the start and delivered a 16-point, 5-assist performance that left fans asking, where has she been hiding all this time? A single game changed the perception around her overnight. She soon found herself traded to the Golden State Valkyries, where she was promised a role that matched her dedication. Lexi Hull's breakthrough was more gradual, yet equally dramatic. She spent extra hours after practice refining her three-point stroke, determined to recapture the efficiency she once had. In the 2024 season, it all clicked. In a nationally televised matchup, Hull hit 6 three-pointers in a single game, finishing with 22 points and a flurry of momentum that carried her to a near 50% shooting clip from deep over the next few months. It was as if she had flipped a switch, silencing every critic who claimed she lacked the grit to thrive. Aaliyah Boston's transformation might have been the most spectacular. She went from inconsistent rookie to all-around beast in just 1 year. A pivotal practice session with a personal mentor, rumored to be a former WNBA MVP, helped refine her post moves and pick-and-roll strategy. Once the 2024 season began, she dominated opposing centers, posting double-doubles on a near-nightly basis. By mid-season, she was an all-star, overshadowing the very veterans who'd questioned her ability to adapt. These breakthrough moments weren't just about personal triumphs, they triggered a domino effect across the league. Coaches scrambled to revise scouting reports. Fans flocked to arenas, curious to witness the transformations they'd heard so much about. Even the players' own teammates realized that the tides were shifting and that these once overlooked rookies had become unstoppable forces. Yet, the biggest changes of all were still unfolding. Off the court, success attracts opportunity, and soon each of these athletes found herself at the center of big-time brand deals. Kate Martin shocked everyone by partnering with Levi's, stepping away from the usual basketball shoe endorsements to focus on an iconic denim line. According to insiders, Levi's saw in Martin a symbol of resilience, someone who could connect with consumers tired of the same old flashy campaigns. Martin's authenticity, it turns out, resonated more powerfully than any choreographed commercial could. Next came her collaboration with Athleta. Initially, fans assumed it would be a routine endorsement, a quick photo shoot, some promotional posts, and a paycheck. Instead, Martin dived deep, helping design a new line of women's sports apparel geared toward everyday athletes. She insisted on prototypes that prioritize flexibility and comfort, working alongside the brand's creative team to ensure each design reflected her own style on and off the court. For Martin, this wasn't about slapping her face on a billboard. It was about transforming the experience of women everywhere who, like her, wanted apparel that felt empowering. Meanwhile, Lexi Hull took a completely different path. She landed endorsement deals with Skull Feminine Care and Maeve Dog Food. Sounded unusual at first, but to those who knew Hull, it made perfect sense. She was outspoken about breaking stigmas surrounding women's health, especially for athletes whose bodies endure unique physical demands. Her partnership with a feminine care brand sent a powerful message. It's time to talk openly about topics once buried in taboo. The dog food deal? That also turned heads. Hull, a devoted dog mom, saw an opportunity to educate people about pet nutrition, a cause that aligned with her belief in living holistically. Fans loved how genuine these endorsements felt, especially since they tied so closely to Hull's personal values. Instead of following the traditional route of sneakers and sports drinks, she opened doors for WNBA players to broaden their brand horizons. But that wasn't the end of the surprises waiting around the corner. With fame comes scrutiny, and soon enough, the rumor mill went into overdrive. One whisper, suggested that Kate Martin's abrupt move to the Golden State Valkyries was fueled by a behind-the-scenes clash with a Las Vegas Aces assistant coach. Though Martin never confirmed or denied the gossip, fans dissected cryptic social media posts, searching for hidden clues. Then talk spread about Lexi Hull's blossoming stardom, specifically whether some WNBA vets felt overshadowed by her meteoric rise. A few questionable quotes from anonymous sources hinted at locker room envy. Was it true, or was the media blowing things out of proportion? Hull maintained her trademark poise, refusing to engage in drama. But the chatter continued. Even Aaliyah Boston couldn't escape speculation. In a particularly intense press conference, a reporter asked whether she'd heard rumors about extra help behind her rapid improvement, a veiled reference to doping or other performance-enhancing methods. Boston dismissed the allegations with a measured smile, calling them baseless. Still, the story made headlines for days, sparking debates about whether her performance really was too good to be true. While none of these controversies were proven or fully substantiated, they poured fuel on an already blazing fire of interest. The league, which once fought to capture mainstream attention, found itself in the center of swirling headlines. Coaches scrambled to manage their players' images, sponsors wondered if the drama might hurt or help product sales, and fans, more engaged than ever, couldn't stop talking about the WNBA's new wave of star power. But not all controversies are destructive. Some challenges only serve to make these athletes even more intriguing. Anyone who's followed women's basketball lately knows about the rumored rivalry between Kate Martin and Caitlin Clark. The two had been close in college, fueling each other's success, but once Clark joined the Indiana Fever and Martin headed west to become the Valkyries' new cornerstone, the media latched onto any on-court friction they could find. A few overzealous commentators claimed they'd seen icy interactions during post-game handshakes. Others pointed to subtle jabs on social media, though fans discovered many were just playful banter. Simultaneously, Lexi Hull and Aaliyah Boston formed what some call an unlikely alliance. They teamed up for a groundbreaking partnership with Aflac, focusing on public health and wellness campaigns. Rival teams recognized the synergy between the two rising stars, both passionate about giving back, both unstoppable in their own positions. The pair's combined endorsement power set a new standard for WNBA marketing deals, prompting other corporations to consider group sponsorships that showcase dynamic duos rather than just a single face. However, not all alliances are about corporate deals. Rumors swirled that Aaliyah Boston might be encouraging Lexi Hull to push for a move to Boston's team in an upcoming free agency window. Could they become unstoppable teammates on the court too? While no official statements confirmed these whispers, fans lit up social media with speculation, further boosting the league's popularity and fueling debates about super teams. In the midst of these rivalries and alliances, the WNBA's viewership soared. Tensions, whether real or imagined, sparked extra excitement. Some said the league was edging closer to an NBA level of drama, where larger-than-life storylines captivate even casual fans. Through it all, Martin, Hull, and Boston continued to elevate their play, proving that behind every rumor was a genuine passion for the game. For these three rising stars, basketball is just the beginning. Kate Martin, already flexing her creative muscles with Athleta, hinted at launching her own lifestyle brand. She teased the possibility of a philanthropic foundation focused on helping underprivileged girls access quality sports programs. If whispers are to be believed, Martin is also eyeing an international angle, perhaps a partnership that would bring basketball clinics to underserved communities abroad. Lexi Hull, meanwhile, isn't content just advocating for women's health and pet nutrition. Word on the street is she's exploring philanthropic ventures aimed at mental health support for student athletes. She's spoken openly about the anxiety she faced during her early pro struggles, hoping her honesty will encourage others to seek help when the pressure feels crushing. Some suspect she's even in talks to produce a short documentary about the emotional toll of elite sports, though Hull remains tight-lipped on the details. As for Aaliyah Boston, her future seems to grow brighter by the minute. Adidas is rumored to be developing a signature shoe line in her name, only the second such line dedicated to a WNBA player in recent memory. Beyond footwear, Boston's also been spotted at technology conferences, leading to speculation that she might be investing in sports analytics startups. Insiders say she's interested in the intersection between data science and player development, which could eventually lead her to a front office role after her playing days end. The most remarkable part? None of these plans seem far-fetched. Their on-court triumphs already command attention, and their reputations off the court suggest they're prime candidates to expand the WNBA's influence. From philanthropic endeavors to entrepreneurial expansions, they're proving that women athletes don't have to choose between success in sports and success in business. They can pursue both and flourish. 3 athletes. 3 stories of doubt turned into destiny. Kate Martin, Lexi Hull, and Aaliyah Boston have shown us that rising stardom doesn't come wrapped in a perfect narrative. It's earned through resilience, adaptability, and an unshakable belief in one's own potential. Each overcame obstacles that could have ended their journeys before they even began. Each broke barriers, turning skeptics into believers. And each is leveraging fame not merely to score points, but to shift culture and spark new possibilities for women everywhere. Now their impact ripples far beyond the WNBA. Big-name brands are lining up for endorsements unlike any we've seen in women's basketball. Community initiatives are popping up where star players go beyond the glamour to uplift younger athletes. Ratings are through the roof, and corporate sponsorship keeps soaring. Could this be just the start of a golden era? The real question is, what happens next? Will Kate Martin's design ambitions revolutionize athletic wear for women? Will Lexi Hull's trailblazing endorsement choices inspire other players to explore unexpected brand deals? And will Aaliyah Boston's unstoppable evolution on the court expand into a legacy that forever reshapes the WNBA's power structure? Let us know your thoughts, and keep your eyes on these 3 as they keep proving that the game is only the beginning. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you're hungry for more updates on the twists and turns shaking the WNBA, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. And trust me, this story is far from over.